How
are you doing?
Not too shabby.
That's good.
Not too shabby.
That's good.
Did you get your
man, I haven't seen you since we drafted AR.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
I'm telling you.
I've had a busy couple of months, so getting a lot of shit done in my house. So.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to sell mine. So
fun.
He was in the process last week of driving over to my house, my area, picking me up, taking me Westfield, dropping me off, going back home, coming back, picking me up, taking me back home, and I felt horrible because they were supposed to go there for training camp, and then it got rained out.
So they moved it inside, and
so they moved it inside.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We are not first 750 people, so it ain't happening.
There was no possible way. Not with the line just to get in was so thick. Oh my goodness.
Well, plus, I mean, where we had to park, and it's another 2-mile walk from there to the the indoor facility. It's like, hell no.
It's a shorter walk to the field.
To the field. Center. It's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Right.
But the indoor facility is not right there.
No, the indoor facility, no. The Colts organization actually has to send vans to go pick up the media people and bring them to the facility.
Right. Yeah.
So, Lordy.
Yeah.
Well,
let's try this.
And that was the first time I've been in an indoor.
What the hell, I'm so dark. I don't know. Oh.
I can see you.
Yeah, your voice is a little delayed, but I can see you though.
Okay.
So I just dropped my Bears Colts preview like an hour ago.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the email notification. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw that.
Yeah.
I actually watched it before I got on here.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yep.
Didn't they have joint practice today and tomorrow with them?
Thursday and Friday.
Is it Thursday and Friday? Okay.
Thursday and Friday.
So what's up with JT leaving again for a personal reason? What the hell?
I don't know. Maybe it has to do with his, his girl, his mom. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm not going to believe anything until I hear him speak.
Yes.
Right.
Plain and simple. Until I hear it come from his mouth, I'm not believing anything.
Yep.
But I love the fact that AR is named starter. That was pretty cool.
The implications of naming him starter, like I said in the video, well, you haven't seen it yet, but it's huge. Naming him starter before the joint practices started.
Right.
Because now he gets all those first team reps against a different defense,
Well, I was thinking about it. It's like, I watched that preseason game, and it's like they named him the starter because they didn't want to put him behind that second string line. That's why they named him the starter.
Well, to be fair, that second string line looked a little better after the first drive.
Oh, it did. Right? But it was just, Garner comes out there and sack. It's like, oh, shit. Well, now I know why AR's now named the starter.
Well, also, I mean, if you noticed, AR had the third fastest time to release in the first week of preseason of all the quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, he looked the best out of all of them.
Well, I mean, all the quarterbacks.
Yeah, so everybody.
Like all of them, the entire NFL. His release was 1.7 seconds average time to release.
Wow.
Which is
phenomenal.
More than half of the time of all the other quarterbacks we've had in the last 4 years. even Andrew Luck liked to hold that sucker forever,
Right.
So
no, I thought he looked really really good in that first game. I thought he looked
he had some overthrows and that miscommunication. Had a footwork issue on one of the throws that I noticed. That really bad pass to Kylan Granson.
Right.
He
He
didn't
had
line
some
his feet up proper.
He had some zip on that ball.
Oh yeah, he did, but he threw it right in the dirt. And everybody's like, "Oh, he just threw that away." No. Kylan was technically open on that comeback route. The problem was Anthony Richardson had his feet facing directly down the hashes, straight north and south. But Kylan Granson was way the hell over here. So he was legitimately throwing cross body.
Right.
You know, and
well, he even admitted
you don't
that
do that. You know,
he
you
even
want to
admitted
have
that
your feet pointing at the person that you're throwing to by the time the ball releases from your hand. That way, you know, you're not throwing across your body.
He even admitted that he had to clean up some footwork issues.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The one thing I was glad to see, though, he threw that interception, and it looks like he's one of those people that he can make a mistake, but he can forget about it instantly and just go to the next play.
Well, to be fair, by the time you get to the NFL, by the time you get to the NFL, you should be able to do that anyhow.
You should, but you know, way everybody makes it sound like, oh, these rookies, you know, oh my God, they're going to throw an interception. Their confidence is going to go straight to the tank. They're going to never play the right again. And
one interception is not an issue. Now, if AR ended his first 3 drives with 3 interceptions, it'd be a problem. That might do something to his confidence.
But CJ Stroud threw an interception. So Will Levis threw an interception. Bryce Young, he didn't throw one, but he just didn't look that good. I mean,
no, they were just simple check down throws.
Right.
So, how many interceptions did Peyton Manning throw his rookie year? Yuck.
Still holds the record.
28.
Still a record. He can't get rid of that one, seems like.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of and there's a lot of people out there saying Anthony Richardson's going to break that record. Man, I thought he looked good. 50 touchdowns on top of it, then we're good.
I thought he looked good.
Well, when you consider the amount of experience college had that Peyton had compared to what Anthony had, if Anthony does break it, well, okay.
I was glad to see that there was a lot of times in that first quarter where he could have taken off and run, but he stayed in the pocket and he threw the ball. He didn't look to run first and throw later. I mean, he stayed there. So,
he looks to throw first.
He's learning.
Yeah, he's not a deer in the headlights kind of guy.
No.
I think it's funny that
he's not going to get spooked just because the guys are around him.
Did you see when he did run? He took that cornerback. He sent that little kid flying. He hit him, and boom, he was gone.
Yeah, he dove through him like it was a freaking paper wall.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the dead leg sack shake off after on that RPO, that same play.
Yeah.
Where the guy came in on a blitz and he just dead legged him. I was like, that's pretty impressive, you know.
Yep. But it's preseason. It's preseason.
Got to start somewhere.
Well, I mean that was actually against a pretty darn good pass rusher too.
Well, and the Bills. The Bills have got a good defense, and they've got good depth at their defense. So it doesn't mean if the starters aren't in there, they still got damn good players playing.
I'm wondering whether or not the Bears defense is better than last year, or because the Titans Bears game week 1, the Bears had 8 sacks, which is more than their defensive line had the entire year last year.
Really?
Yes.
Or the Titans
last year,
bad?
The Bears defensive line only had 6.5 sacks total.
Well, the Titans lost the cup. Didn't they lose a couple offensive linemen?
Yeah. So
Ben Jones and what's his name?
They Lawan.
Yeah, Taylor.
But I mean, the Titans slid the second half of the season for a reason. You know, their offensive line took massive hit.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody wants to say, "Oh, it was Ryan Tannehill." Well, I mean, I don't care what quarterback you put behind maybe the shittiest offensive, because they were ranked, like, I believe, dead last in the NFL, the offensive line for the Titans last year.
Right.
You put any quarterback back there, I don't care if it's freaking Patrick Mahomes, they're going to look like crap. You know.
True. True.
Yeah. Yeah, ask Patrick without his 2 tackles in the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, they make him look pretty mortal.
Yeah, it will. It absolutely will. I had someone ask me a question on that. Ask me when I'm going to start dropping preseason film rooms, and I don't have NFL Plus right now because I can't afford it. But as soon as I'm able to afford it, then I'll start doing it. But right now, I don't have the money to get it. So, but I'm trying. That's why I'm dropping a lot more. You know, I'm dropping content like every other day,
right?
You know, so
right.
I'm trying to drop as much content as I can.
Right.
I would have went live today on YouTube if it weren't for, you know, Patreon. But you know, you guys pay me money, so we get to say.
Hey, well, I finally got hooked up on Discord last week after you dropped that invite link, and I played around long enough, and I got through and actually watched the second half of the game. So maybe next time I try to get on Discord, I can actually get on it.
Yeah, I saw you said it twice in chat, and I said something about, oh, I'm glad that you were able to. But I saw you in the actually in there. Actually, I just when I'm streaming the game,
yeah,
I mute myself and everything, you know, so that. Oh, I didn't realize I was live in Discord on a different channel. Wow. So, all right. Awesome. So I got about 250 people in that in that Discord right now. Ain't bad.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Bad.
I mean, it's not like, I mean, that's how many members I have in that channel, which isn't too shabby. I think I need 13,000 in order to be a public channel, though.
Takes that many, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Oh, but so, how's everybody been this week?
Good. Not bad.
You're selling your house, Jack?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some issues with the house that I really can't afford to get fixed. So I figured probably it's I you know, maintenance and all that kind of stuff is just getting to be overwhelming, and I don't have any leeway with my income for any more loans. I need a roof. And I've got a water leak that it's somewhere under the house. Of course, I'm on a slab house. It's somewhere under the house, and I don't have any idea where it is. I just, to be honest with you, I can't afford to live here. You know, the upkeep and everything else. So.
You plan on moving up to Minnesota or something?
Oh God, no! Hell no!
Hell no!
Hell no! I ain't living anywhere near that damn place. I'd have to have a home down here to come to in the wintertime, because I would no.
I was gonna say you can't handle those Minnesota winters. Ugh.
You could beach.
Yeah, I lived in Minnesota. I don't want to do that again. I won't make that mistake a second time. No, somewhere I've got feelers going in Arkansas with my daughter, and then I got feelers going out in Oregon with some friends of mine that live out there, and of course here, you know, I'm just, I'm kind of waiting. I've got I've got a I'm on a dating line with a lady right now. Been on it. We've been dating, online dating, for 3 months. She's supposed to come here in October, so we can actually meet. And we're kind of talking about, other possibilities of where to live.
Have you actual video chatted with her yet?
No, we just sent pictures back and forth.
Okay. I hope her name is not actually like Bubba.
No. She's actually from Europe.
Okay.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
We'll see.
Speaking
But she's helped me keep my sanity anyway.
Yeah.
And
I had a friend of mine.
That's important.
I have a friend of mine
Yeah.
that I've been online friends with for about 9 years now. And he actually flew in. He's from the Netherlands. He lives in the Netherlands. He's a teacher. And he flew in and visited here for about 2 weeks.
Really?
Yep. We went out, took him out to Texas Roadhouse, and then we went bowling. Then he went out to Chicago and saw a bunch of sights up there in Chicago, So
he didn't get shot or anything. That's good.
No, he had fun,
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. He said he always wondered what a third world country was like. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. Come to the U.S. and see Chicago.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a third world country.
No kidding.
Oh,
no doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
All the time. We were bowling, and every time he go up there to throw the ball, he's not. Just a bunch of friends. We was out bowling, and none of us bowled worth a shit. I hadn't bowled in like 3 years, right? Maybe 4.
God.
So I was out of it a little bit too, and every time he walked up and he'd throw and he'd knock down like 3 or 4 pins, I'd be like, "Woohoo! We started off close. It was like, you're making Germany proud," and he's like, "I'm not from Germany," and then then I'd be like, "Yeah, you need to send that one off to Czechoslovakia," and then finally, I think we were talking about, we got so far away. It was all the way to Australia where we were naming it. He was from, and it was funnier than hell. But
you were naming every place except where he was from.
Except where he's from. Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I mean, the Netherlands is a country I wouldn't mind visiting. It was just right across the channel from Great Britain, so wouldn't be bad.
In the summertime.
Well, from what I understand, it's pretty much the same damn weather all year round up around there. It don't get as bad as, like, say, Indiana because of the ocean.
Who told you that lie? Shit, dude.
What I've heard, England, it's always raining. It's always nasty.
I mean, rain, yes, but I mean, you don't have the extremes of like Indiana where it can be -30 or 110.
Give it 5 minutes, it'll change. So you never know.
Like I said, who told you that lie? Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. It will. Yeah, it changes. It
also depends upon, if you're, in a mountainous area as well, I would assume. He's in the Netherlands, which is below sea level,
for the most part.
Right there on the ocean below sea level.
Yeah.
So he's in a flood. Okay.
Well, I mean, the Netherlands are like famous for their fjords or whatnot, you know,
the fjords, yeah.
Hold everything back. Apparently they got some really beautiful gardens out there in the Netherlands, like massive, like flower factories. So
if you live underwater, I can see that. You know?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, just talk to New Orleans.
Exactly. Oh.
Well, I mean, like they like farm the flowers, like you know how in Indiana you look out, you see a farm, it's just nothing but corn.
Tulips.
You go to the Netherlands, it's like tulips.
Tulips. Yeah, lots and lots of tulips.
Okay, well, that'd be a little prettier than corn. I'd give it that.
True. Yeah.
Might smell better too, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of corn and soybeans, so you know.
Yeah. And in certain parts of Indiana, you'll see some tomatoes.
Yes.
You know, because of red gold.
Yeah. Yeah. Around here.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I blasted through Iowa going up to Minnesota. I said, the land of pig shit and popcorn farts.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean,
because they call Wisconsin the land of cow shit and popcorn and you know, whatever else they call it.
I mean, Weaver popcorn factory is literally 10 minutes away from my house. You know, so,
right.
I used to work there. I think everybody in Marion used to work at Weaver Popcorn.
Yeah,
probably
one of those kind of places, right?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like, you know, if you have a Chrysler, you know, or a GM or something like that, you know, like half the population has worked there at one point or another.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, we used to have a GM plant down here back when they used to make the Hummer.
Yeah.
They decided to quit making the Hummer. They shut down the plant.
We still have our GM plant. They were going to shut it down, and then the city said, "I'll tell you what, we'll waive your property taxes to keep you here."
Yeah.
And so they agreed to it.
Well,
so
it's a good idea because it's not pretty when they up and leave.
The sad part about them shutting down the plant here is it was one of the younger plants in General Motors.
Yeah.
But the only thing it was made to do was build Hummers.
Well, they quit making the Hummer 2s and the Hummer 3s and all that shit too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah. When they quit making the Hummers, that was, they only built the civilian Hummers here. They didn't build the military version of them. They, you know.
Right.
So it started out with the Hummer too.
You think that they could retool the factory to make something else?
The way the factory was set up and the way that all of the incoming materials that came in and all that kind of stuff it was Hummer or nothing. And the GM didn't add to their line of vehicles, so they didn't need the plant. So they had some local guy tried to buy the plant and start building vehicles in it, and that's been an ongoing joke for 10 years now. You know, oh yeah. So the plant's sitting out there empty. It's been empty for 15 years, I guess now.
Jeez.
Doesn't seem like it's been that long, but yeah, it's been that long since they made the Hummers.
There's a bit of a misconception. At least it was for me for a long time. I don't know about the general U.S. population. See, I've always been told by my family, buy American, always buy American. Don't buy Japanese or nothing like that, you know, buy American. So, you know, it was Ford, GM, Chrysler, you know, that stuff.
Right.
And I just come to find out after probably, after I got out of high school, I realized Toyota is actually American made.
A lot of them are. Yep.
A lot of them are. Yeah. So
we got Elsa right there.
Hondas.
Honda. Yeah.
Yep.
Elsa sitting right over there in Elwood. You know,
Yep.
What I found was really hilarious when I bought my Honda. Mine's made in Japan.
Oh, you got one of the original ones.
I got a good Honda. I got one that was made in
got a
Japan.
good one.
It was actually manufactured in Japan.
You got a
Yeah,
good
because
one.
there's the Accord plant, I think, is in either Tennessee or Kentucky, I believe.
Right.
That's what I have is a Honda Accord. But no, the first thing I did when I opened the door was look at the tag and it said "Made in Japan." I went, "I'll buy it. I'll take it." But yeah, Toyota opened a plant back in '72 or '73, somewhere back in way back. I think they started building the Corollas or something here.
Yeah,
They've got
Toyota.
they got a truck plant. They got a couple different plants here in the U.S.
Yep, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually more foreign cars built here than there are American cars because none of the American cars are all American. They're part Canadian, part Mexican, part Chinese. It just,
A lot of
some of them are actually assembled in the United States, but they're not American made. They're American assembled.
Yeah, I used to work at a place that made the aluminum rims for Chevy, and I was there for about a year and a half as a caster. I've talked about this before, and then they some people come in with pamphlets and stuff talking about, well, have a good one, Jack. He'll be back shortly.
There he is.
But some people come in with pamphlets saying, "Hey, you work at this place that you need a union." And honestly, while I was there, I didn't think we needed a union. They paid us well. They treated us well. If it got too hot, we got to work hour on, hour off, to keep cool, stuff like that. They kept the place really clean, everything. I thought they treated everybody really well. But those people came in with union pamphlets and started saying, "Hey, you need to get a union in here." And then once they got a couple people to start saying, "Yeah, okay, we'll sign this petition for a union," they shut the plant down and moved to Mexico.
Yeah,
they didn't want any part of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They tried that down here. Oh God, it's been a while back, but there was a plant over in Texas, not far from here. And they started talking about a union, and the people at the plant, the head of the plant told them, "Look, you guys get a union, we'll shut it down." And so they voted, they got the union in there. They turned around and just shut the thing down. So the guys went from making, $12 an hour that was getting paid by the company before they tried to get this union in there. They were getting $12 an hour. They went from $12 an hour to nothing.
Yeah.
And that was a fork truck driver, was making $12 an hour. And this was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah. Somebody else went in, reopened the plant, got everybody back to work, and started paying the forklift driver $6 an hour. They were making half the amount of money for doing the same job they were doing.
The plant that shut down because of the union for me, that was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was making 14 an hour.
Right.
Doing casting. Yeah. And I thought 14 an hour 25 years ago wasn't bad,
That was good money. That was good money. Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't easy work, but it was definitely worth the job, that I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 50, 60 years ago, unions served a purpose. I mean, there were some pretty shitty workplaces, but now it's all about money and power. So has nothing to do with the workers' rights. It is money and power.
And
my dad go ahead.
They end up stealing your retirement money too. I've had two friends of mine that worked at union shops, and both of them lost their retirement because their retirement was basically embezzled by the union.
Yep.
And there they are, 70 years old and no retirement.
Right. Yep. You can't trust them.
Nope. So I remember my dad saying, but when my dad freshly got out of high school, he worked at a steel foundry here in town called Malibu, and he made $2.10 an hour back in like 74, I think it was. And he said there was a union there, and then the union tried to push to get everyone a 25-cent raise, and the plant shut down.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, so even back then they were like, all right.
Yeah. And minimum wage back then was $1.35. I know. I started working in '74, and minimum wage was $1.35.
You're right. I remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got my first raise when they were on January 1st when they raised the minimum wage up to $1.60.
When I first started working, minimum wage was $4.25 back in '93. Yeah. So
yeah, I think I started. It was like $3.25 an hour or something, $3 an hour minimum wage.
I remember when minimum wage went up to made that big jump to $7.50. I was like, holy crap. Yeah. I mean, that was a massive jump at the time because it jumped huge. And inflation, you barely felt any inflation from that. This is nuts. The inflation that we felt over the last 2 years has been crazy because, McDonald's employees went from minimum wage to $14, $15 an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they make 11 here.
The thing is, they're offering that much money, but these places, they still can't get anybody to work because everybody was sitting around on their ass getting the free money from COVID, and none of them want to work again. They all want unemployment. They don't want to do anything. Well, you go to restaurants, they still don't have anybody working.
And then you have like areas where I live, where a lot of places are still, in order to survive, they're still only paying minimum wage.
Right.
So you got guys out there working minimum wage, but because, California and Illinois and New York and all that, their minimum wages went to $15+ an hour, that expense travels across country because, now when you try to purchase that product from that state, that product price has jumped due to the, so, I mean, it's crap. It's impossible to completely keep all of your, unless you're very specific on the product that you're providing. It's very difficult to get all the ingredients of your product in your same area that you're already producing it.
Right.
To keep the product low.
And small businesses, they can't survive paying that kind of minimum wage. They just can't do it.
No.
So it sounds good. Yeah, we're going to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour. Okay, you do that, and now you've just wiped out half of your small businesses in your community because they can't do it. So people don't look at that part of it,
Well, your family-owned businesses gone.
Gone. We saw that with COVID. I mean, what happened? I mean, so many businesses went out because they couldn't do it.
COVID. So the one thing they did in Louisiana was they left the minimum wage. Minimum wage is still $7.45 in Louisiana. Okay, they left it up to the business owners whether they wanted to raise their wages. Now I know the McDonald's right up the street from me right now pays $11 an hour.
Right.
Which when I worked at McDonald's, we got minimum wage, but they're paying $11 an hour up here at this store here.
Yeah, my son.
You can't get a job there either. I've tried. I tried to go. I went up there to see if I get a part-time. Man, they ain't got no positions open. Of course, there's not a white person. There's not a white person in the place either. Not that I care, but I mean, it's. I mean, the whole crew is black. Like I said, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Just they don't give up that job.
No, you shouldn't. Yeah. I mean, if you get to flip burgers for $11 an hour, heck yeah.
I got experience. I worked at McDonald's. Of course, I was in high school. We didn't have breakfast, but as long as I worked a hamburger shift, I'm good. I did those.
Minimum wage here in Indiana is still $7.25 an hour. So
Yeah.
But there's a lot of places paying more than minimum wage.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Well, my son,
here.
who worked at Papa Murphy's, which is a take and bake place.
Yeah. Got one here.
Yeah, he he worked there for minimum wage, and he was there a year and a half, and he went from 750 to 775, and that was it. And he was the only guy that was still there from the point that he was hired. Even the managers and everybody were completely gone. He's the only one that was left.
Yeah.
And he said, I can't do, he said, I'm not doing it for this little bit amount of money anymore. I'm coming in when because they have call offs all the time and stuff. And he's not a manager, or nothing like that.
Right.
And so he quit and he became a dishwasher at Applebee's, and he makes $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Double what he was making.
Yeah. And he's just a dishwasher, you know? All right.
Hey.
But the thing is, like Applebee's, great example. You walk into an Applebee's, every time I've been there to an Applebee's here in Kokomo in the last year, you walk in, they're understaffed.
Mm-hmm.
There's dirty tables everywhere because they don't have anybody to bust the tables.
Yep.
You sit down, there's only like 2 or 3 waitresses doing the whole building, and service is so horrible. And it's been like that. They haven't recovered. None of them have.
Same way here. And you'll get a good server occasionally, but you have to kind of remember they're probably covering multiple tables.
Oh yeah,
there are lots of tables, too many tables for themselves, know. And you're like, I can't blame you for your service because you're overworked, you know.
No, they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And they just like you said, no one wants to work anymore.
Nope, they want it for free. Something.
Well, I quit going to Applebee's long before the COVID, so it was lousy service. That's why I quit going, because my wife and I went to the one here in Bossier a couple of different times, and it was just god awful. So we just, so I'm not going to go back there. And we went to another, I forget what restaurant. No, they just opened it over across the river. We went over there. We had a gift certificate for Christmas. Went over there, got great service. Got a brand new waitress. She'd never done it before. Well, we had a chance to talk to her. Told she did a great job. She really did. We went in there, I don't know, about a month later. Sat that place for a half hour. People walked past us. Waitress walked past us. Nobody brought us a menu. They didn't even acknowledge we existed. So the waitress was walking by. I hollered at her. I said, I need to see the manager. So the manager came over, and of course I told him what was going on. Of course he's, well, we'll get you a free dessert or whatever. And I said, no, I don't think so. And then my wife and I stood up and I announced it in my nice quiet voice. We were going to Outback, and out the door we went.
Now,
and never went back.
Last time I went to an Applebee's was when my dad's funeral, and then I had, I took me a family
to
Applebee's, and it was about 25, 30 of us, Now I called ahead like 2 days prior and said, are you going to have room? Right. Are you going to be staffed for this? They said, I doubt it, but you're welcome to come try, staff wise.
All right.
So we show up. They had a whole section, blocked off for us. 2 waitresses. That's it. 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they had in the building. And they did a pretty decent job. Now, they only had 1 cook, and there's 25 of us. So some of us had to wait for our meals. Right. Some of us waited 45 minutes because it was that long. But I thought that they did a good enough job. They busted their butts. They always came by and refilled everything and, tried to do right to the best of their ability, even though they were understaffed. I gave both those damn waitresses $200 tip. Because I had it, at the time.
Right.
So, because I knew that, working like that at that place at that point in time, it's difficult to be a server,
Right.
because a lot of people don't make any money right now, and they can't afford to tip very well. And if I've got it, I'm going to tip, because I used to be a server and I know what it's like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Tip your waitress, tip your bartender, tip anybody that's doing that for you, because that's their living. That's their
The only
living.
thing I don't do when I go and order a Papa John's pizza and go pick it up at the freaking store, I ain't tipping them, even though they got a freaking tip thing right there.
No,
like, why are you asking me for a tip when I ordered it?
Right.
And I'm coming to pick it up.
Yeah, I came here to pick it up.
Yeah, I'm not tipping. I don't tip in that.
No. Now, if I go to Subway and they make my sandwich and I ask them, something out of the ordinary with extra work, and they do it with a smile, I might give them $1 or $2, in their little tip jar,
right?
Because that's above and beyond. But otherwise, I'm not tipping you when I go through the freaking, drive-through at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tipping you to do your job,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. It pisses me off. So you go to an Applebee's or any sit-down restaurant, and they're busy, and there's tables that need bussed and everything. They're short-staffed, but yet you see this manager who just walks around and does nothing. And it's like, get off your fat ass and go do, bust some tables. I used to manage restaurants. I know what you're supposed to get over there and do this. It just drives me nuts.
What would really piss me off is if you're sitting there and, you've been seated, you haven't gotten your order taken yet, hadn't even gotten your drink order yet or something like that. And you look over, and in the server area, you just see all the servers sitting there talking or on the phones or something like that.
Oh yeah, I've see it all the time.
No.
I see it all the time because they know they've got job security, because they're not going to get rid of them. They short-staffed anyway.
I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem at Texas Roadhouse. I haven't had that problem here. It seems like they're always fully staffed. And
I haven't had that problem there. I haven't had the problem at Outback either. I haven't seen that at Outback.
But
I've never been to Texas Roadhouse. Or I haven't been to a restaurant really in a while.
Well, Texas Roadhouse and Outback are pretty damn close to each other when it comes to style of food and everything.
Yeah.
Here's funny. Just popped up on my phone. Dwight Freeney explains what the Colts must do so they don't ruin Anthony Richardson. Okay, Dwight. I don't know what Dwight expertise is, but block the defensive line. That's what you need to do, not to ruin Anthony Richardson.
Right.
Block offensive line needs to do their damn job.
Don't let someone like me get his hands on him.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Right.
All these old players wanting to put in their 2 cents worth.
Well, I mean, that's his job right now. He's an analyst. So
is he an analyst? Who's he an analyst for?
CBS, I think.
Is he? Dwight is? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, he knows what he's
for
talking
a couple years now. Yep.
It'll be fun to listen to Matt Ryan on CBS this year. There's the old Indianapolis shit show right there. There we are.
Does CBS actually carry football games?
Do what?
I didn't know CBS carried football games anymore.
Oh yeah, that's where the Colts are locally. That's where we get
locally.
Really?
Yeah.
CBS?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So are you going down to any of the practices with the Bears, Lawrence? Are you going down there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said you were done. You've been there 3 times.
Yep.
Right.
Let me see something.
I'm sorry. Yeah, CBS and Fox. Duh.
By the way, that was a kick-ass interview with Kylan, I must admit.
Okay.
That was a good interview.
Glad to know that you enjoyed it.
I did. He was definitely having some fun with you.
Yeah, that was good. It was a good interview. You found the only tight end. You found the only tight end that you were taller than, right?
All the rest of them are the same height, right? But you can't really. I mean, he's not like short.
No, he's not.
6'3", you know.
No.
I mean, he's short, but the other ones are 6'8". The other ones are
Right.
just 6'8".
Right?
He's short for our tight ends.
Yeah. So which interview did you watch? Did you watch the one that I posted on
the Patreon, the uncut version?
The uncut version.
Yes,
okay. Yeah.
yes.
All right. That
of course, that's the only ones I ever
uncut.
watch. I always watch the uncut versions. That way I get to see everything, hear everything.
Him walking up and her.
That's right. I don't want the edited version. I don't want the edited shit. I want I want to see the mistakes. I want to see it. That's what's fun.
I want to hear the cuss words.
That's right.
Not a lot of cuss words, but it was kind of cool because, you know, while I was interviewing him, you know, the players were hanging out with their families, you know, and his girl was like literally sitting right off to the side of the camera, waiting on my interview to get done, you know, to hang out with Kylan before he went to the presser box, because he was supposed to go to the presser box right after I got done with him. And so I could have been an ass and just held him on for a few more minutes. But I didn't, you know, they were like, 5 minutes, dude, 5 minutes. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll take all 5 minutes.
All 5 minutes. Wait a minute. I got 27 seconds left. Don't you
literally right behind me. Michael Pittman and his girl were over there playing with their kids. You know, I mean, I think you could see it in the interview.
Right.
Where Alec Pierce walked up and was, you know, interacted with them and stuff. So yeah. And then to my behind me, you know, on my side, there was Bernard Ryman and his girl were over there talking and hanging out and stuff. So but yeah. It was that was a good day. It sucked that you had to go home, but it was a good day.
It was a good day for you. That's good. I'm glad I could provide a good day for you.
I mean, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to got the content that I was able to get. And, you know,
I told you we would take you up there. We were going to take you up there. I had a feeling when we got up that morning and it was wet and the grass was wet. It was like, I kind of think they're going to move this shit inside because they don't want to risk an injury. But the funny thing is, I don't know. I mean, I looked at the video that you did of the practice. They really looked like they didn't even do anything indoors. I mean, it was like pretty much a walkthrough. They were, you know, stretching and this crap. And
okay. So I'm not allowed to do
11 on 11, 7 on 7 when they're actually doing that.
So they were once I cut it, that's when the team activity started. Right. You know, so and then of course you have the offense on one field, you have the defense on the other field, which is split right in the middle where there's a fan stands. So in order for me to get defense, I'd actually have to pick up the camera, walk over, set it down, which I did with Quiddy for a minute, you know, while he was over there destroying Curtis Painter. And his twin brother.
That's funny.
But I figured that most people wanted to get an eye on the offensive players, so that's why most of my time I spent was on the offensive side.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I just wonder how many people realize that you can't film that stuff. So it's like they watch a video like that. Where's why aren't they showing the practice? It's like, you can't. People do.
You can show individuals, and that's it. All the way up to individuals, like where the quarterbacks, like I did. I showed, the quarterback.
Where Anthony's throwing the ball.
Receiver and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
Where where the tight ends and wide receivers were running routes with the quarterbacks, and stuff like that. But there was no team out, no team activity.
Right.
That's where I can't. That's where they draw the line. It's sad.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, because you don't want like Bill Belichick seeing that shit and being like, "Well, game plan."
Exactly. Exactly.
He's going to film it from behind the bleachers anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah. Send a drone over.
Be like, why do we have two blues out on the field? I don't understand.
Why is that one blue wearing a hoodie?
Right.
Why is that one blue wearing a hoodie? What's going on here? Who is that?
Dark hoodie.
I want to see what
that would be so awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to him about doing something like that sometime, especially in the Germany game this year.
Well, tomorrow might not be a good day. Looks like it's supposed to rain pretty much all day tomorrow, so that's not going to be good for their joint practice.
Well, that just means it'll be inside.
Send some my way.
Now Friday it's supposed to be sunny and 76, so that'll be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, when
I went out to the field,
it's a good thing they're ending training camp this week because next week it's in the 90s.
Yeah. But when you dropped me off, me and the Sick podcast, we went out to the field, right, to record I went there to record my my intro, which I do for the training camp. I always do like a 3 to 5 minute intro. And since, no one was on the field, I thought, well, I could go to the field and record. And I walk out there and there's Kevin Bowen in one of the tents, live talking, doing his 105.5 The Fan thing.
Right.
And he's like, hi, but, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, all right. So I set up my camera and I do my intro. And what you don't see is right before I killed it, one of the Colts guys was riding by on one of the golf carts,
right?
And he stopped, and he jumped the fence, ran over, and he was like, "You guys can't be on the field." I wasn't technically on the field. I was technically standing in the area where media was allowed to in the first place, right?
Right.
But the Sick podcast guys were actually on the field, right? So it ruined it for everybody because, they're like, there's a reason why we moved it inside. The ground is soft and wet. You don't want to put divots in it. And then,
right,
a $40 million guy goes down with an injury because you wanted to walk around on the field,
right.
Right. So, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll jump. He's like, and then after they left, he was like, it wasn't you. If it was just you, sitting there like that, you were in an all right spot. I would have left you be. I would have just told you, make sure you don't go on the field,
right.
Itself. But I was like, it's all good because I understand. I don't want to do, if I do something wrong, I tell them all the time, if I do something wrong, have no problem. Walk up and tell me so that I know, because I don't have a checklist like media does on the do's and don'ts of, being here, So, but I've been there now 4 years. This was my 4th year that I've been allowed to do sideline stuff. So I know the majority of the rules, and I generally don't have to be told, this or that. There's one time I remember Stephen Holder kept creeping out closer and closer and closer to the field while they were practicing because, people standing around, media and stuff standing around, and he's trying to get a good look. And I'm staying behind him, using him as a guide, right? But I'm always making sure I'm, a few steps behind where he's standing. And then Hayden, which is the Colts PR guy that sets me up, him and Conti, he walks over and says, "Can you move back past the red line like you're supposed to?" I was like, yeah, I have no problem doing that. I was just using Holder as a, guidepost. And he goes, I know. And then he walks right over to Holder and says, you need to back up. And Holder's like, I'm not in the way. They're all the way down. He's like, there's rules,
Yeah.
Trust me, Lawrence, that day when I took you over there, I was thinking, this is Fan Appreciation Day. They're not very appreciative of me being here. And I was thinking, how can I get my car out on the field and do some donuts out there in the middle of the field and then take off?
I mean, you might have been able to pull that off, but getting out would have probably been a problem.
It probably could have been.
Yeah. You'd have had to probably drive through the fence of that private yard across.
Yeah. I'll show you Fan Appreciation Day.
And here comes the Indiana State Police helicopter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Live on the 6 o'clock news.
It was all good. It was all good.
But yeah, I had a good time that day, and they served afterwards. They served media lasagna and
damn,
Italian sausage. And
so was this Media Appreciation Day? What the hell?
Cheese
it was Fan Appreciation Day, not Media Appreciation Day.
After every practice, media is.
Oh no!
Served
I'm sending an email to Ursay himself. Say, damn it!
The
hell is this crap?
After every practice, man, they set up the media center with like, I don't know, like what is that called? Cafeteria style setup for food.
Buffet.
Yeah, kind of, And we're just for media. And I'm like, all right, that way we don't have to spend $20 for a freaking hamburger out there, or some crap like that. Because
then you tell me, how does somebody like Greg Doyle get to still come out there and do the crap that he does when he attacks the Colts all the time? Come on.
Well, so did Dan Dakich.
Well, and he could probably still get in there and eat for the damn media. It's not fair. It's not fair.
But to be fair, and I will say this, I almost never see either of them there. Ever. Not even on the field, on the sidelines.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. He shows up on specific days only. So
seems like everything he writes is always negative.
Well, he didn't write the negative thing about Anthony Richardson.
No, but he was, what was it? He was just going off about the Colts. It's going to be one of the worst seasons ever. Their roster's horrible, blah, blah, blah. They didn't do anything in the offseason to better their. I'm like, have you been living under a rock? What the hell? You call yourself a media person for the Colts? You're an idiot.
Well, he
does it to get attention as well.
Yeah, he plays devil's advocate, but also does it in a really shitty way. Like when he asks questions, he does it kind of rudely sometimes.
Yes, he does.
I've
noticed that.
And I'm like, dude, I've called him out on it on Twitter. I've called his ass out, and he's like, I'm just doing my job, man. And I'm like, you ain't got to be disrespectful.
No.
I mean, come on now. If you talk to me like that on the streets, the way you talk to Chris Ballard,
right,
I beat the holy crap out of you. Just for,
for free, damn it. Yeah, exactly.
You'll get free meals because it'll be fed through you through a tube at the hospital.
Oh, shoot. That's funny.
I mean, the questions he asks is fine, and they're legit most of the time. It's just the way he presents them is just
and it's almost
such
like
an assholeish way.
It's like when he's there, it's almost like he expects to be able to ask a question whenever he wants and just jump in front of everybody, interrupt anybody. That's what pisses me off when I listen to him. It's like
I did that to
up.
him on purpose once.
Good.
I remember right after that day where he told everybody when he was called, he's like, "This is a 2-part question, so no one interrupt me."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And the next day I was there, and he was so how questions are answered live. Whoever has the biggest, loudest, quickest voice,
right,
gets
Mike
and is able to get through. And
Mike
I was standing right beside him, and he spoke up, and I spoke up louder than him on purpose. And he kept talking, and I just kept talking. And yeah, so it was pretty fun. And Gus just looked at us both and smiled and laughed. And I finished my question, and dude just kind of looked at me, and I looked down at him and looked back at Gus Bradley, and Bradley answered my question. Mine wasn't rude, but I said it in a louder voice, talking over him.
Let me ask you this: like, to go to like any of the public news conferences that they do, like after games or when Chris Ballard talks or anything, like Shane Steichen talks in front of the media, can you get credentials to go to those things?
It's on now normally, as they call us, bloggers,
right?
Normally, no.
Okay.
I have been told, since this is on not an open forum here, I have been told if I ever go to a game or something, to let them know, and they'll get me in on 1 or 2, on a specific individual basis.
Right.
Just because. But I'm not getting a full season media pass,
right.
But if I happen to be there and they get enough heads up and there's not a shit ton of national media in line, then they can get me in, because they only have so many media passes they can pass out. So, that's why during the season, the bloggers don't get a whole bunch, because you got national media also that you have to deal with, and which are always at games. So
I wonder how that worked.
Yeah.
Even like a training camp, like when you
that's why training camp, we're only allowed there certain days.
Okay.
And they generally try to keep national media down on those days, because you're only allowed to have so many people on the sidelines.
Right.
So they specifically do that specifically for us, which is freaking awesome.
Yep.
Not every team in the NFL does that. Colts were I think the first one to start that 4 years ago, and I was one of the first ones to get the first media pass, which is
cool.
Freaking awesome.
That's cool. I wondered how they did that, how they decided who got in there and who didn't.
It depends.
If your name's Mike Chappell, you can go to any one.
Well, I mean, if you work for a newspaper, local media, like newspaper, radio station, something like that, you're in.
Right.
If you work for a national media site like USA Today or ESPN or Sports Illustrated, you're in.
Right.
And then of course national media like
NFL Network,
shit like that. But then you got your local bloggers, that also depends upon name,
right?
And how much they trust you,
right?
There's local bloggers that are bigger than me. They will not let in.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. They're a bunch of loudmouth idiots. I wouldn't.
Now, obviously, it's about respect, following the rules,
right?
Things of that nature. one of the rules in the first place was do not reach out to players and coaches for interviews outside of the organization. Like you go through the organization to get the interviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That was a rule. And I stuck to that rule. And I got turned down over and over and over again. Right. But I kept at it and I kept asking, even though I was getting turned down, and I was not reaching out to them personally. I was getting frustrated, but I was like, if I stick with it, maybe they'll throw me a bone.
Yeah.
Right. And they did. They threw me a bone. And then they started throwing me more bones. And now I've, I can reach out all the time and get interviews all the time. I reached out yesterday and asked about it, and they said they can't do it this week or next week because of the joint practices. But they said after that, sometime around, before week 1, I should be able to get an interview with somebody. But let's say, what was that? What is that podcast? For the Shoe? No. Is that the name of the podcast?
For the Shoe is one, or no horsing around.
No horsing around was allowed a couple times. I'm trying to remember.
Bring the Juice, of course.
Bring the Juice is allowed, even though they messed up a few times, but they're allowed because they have a large name.
Right.
They have a large following.
Unfortunately.
But I think it's for the culture.
For the culture. Okay.
Yeah, they're blacklisted.
Are they really?
Yes, because all their interviews was them just reaching out to players via Twitter and shit.
Directly.
And getting their interviews. So they got blacklisted.
Interesting.
And there my grandson's playing with my camera.
They say, where the hell did Lawrence go? It's like, whoa.
Videographer.
Ceiling. My wife caught it. She's sitting here. It's a little off center, but it ain't too bad. I can work with that. I can work with it. It's good. That's good. I can work with it. They can see me.
Yeah, you look better on the ceiling. What the hell?
You'd be dancing on the ceiling.
Make sure he's not. Yeah.
For the culture. I remember.
They've been blacklisted 100%. So I try to.
What about like former players? Like, can you reach
out? Oh yeah,
I
can reach out former players anytime I want. As a matter of fact, there's some former players that I can reach out to the organization themselves, and they'll reach out to ask. They've told me that before. I did reach out for AC one time, and I got a reply, and Conti was like, "I can't because." AC straight up told me when they were retired, he said he wanted nothing to do with football anymore. So don't reach out for any interviews or anything like that.
Right.
So I said, and I was like, cool, thanks for the explanation, So, but yeah, sometimes they help out with even, guys that aren't on now, if they're still in the NFL, not retired, then obviously they can't really help if they're not part of the Colts. Like, Marlon Mack, who's, even though he's injured, he's still technically part of the Arizona Cardinals right now. So,
I take it the same goes with like coaches too, to talk to them. Same thing.
Yeah.
Former coaches.
Yep. Most of the time, former coaches they blacklist themselves, but that's what I was told. So. But I might at some point.
Yeah, reach out, get a hold of Frank and say, Frank, why the hell didn't you climb that mountain? What the hell? You've been climbing it for 5 years and you never made it to the top. What?
Kind of hard to do that when he's working for the Panthers right now.
No, but I want to know why didn't you finish climbing the mountain with the Colts? Jesus. I was climbing it with him for 5 years. Every damn season I was climbing the mountain and never made it. Never made it, Frank. the hell?
Yep.
I wonder if he's starting down at the bottom with the Panthers, and it's going to take him 5 years to get maybe to base station 1. I don't know. It's no, I'm not a bitter fan, not at all. I'm not bitter.
Oh, that's great. I can't really put a whole lot on Frank because of the situation that he was put in.
I can. I'm a bitter fan. I can put a lot of everything on him.
I know.
He's gone. So
the whole, it was hard for him to find a quarterback, you know, and I understand. He took his shot with one, you know, with Carson, and it was a fair shot, and it had its ups and downs, but it was a hell of a lot better than the Matt Ryan.
But I don't think
I don't know if I go that far, but
oh no, it was better than the. I mean, at least we almost went to the playoffs with Carson Wentz.
There was problems. There was bigger problems underlying than the quarterback with that whole. I mean,
I think it is possible that the culture that was there, maybe he, you know, didn't have that firm grip that he should have, you know.
Right.
But I don't think Pagano had a firm grip either.
No, we didn't.
You know, and Grigson's grip was too firm, you know, as a GM.
Right.
So,
well, we won those years because of luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
You need to see if you can get an interview with Reggie. That'd be a good interview for you.
I have reached out a few times.
Have you really? Have you?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be a fun interview.
Yeah. He does not like doing interviews.
Imagine that.
Especially if if his guys aren't doing well, he doesn't want to do them. We reached out last year, and because the Colts were stinking up the joint, he's like, I can't. There's no, you know, he probably didn't have anything good to say, and you know, he's just going by what his mama used to tell him. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Right. Probably.
I think every mama has told their kids that. Or grandma, you know.
Yeah, there's too many people out there talking crap, and they need to shut up. But they just, you know, but they need to not say anything at all.
Yep.
Not necessarily in football, but just across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely. I hear you.
You know.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm just, you know, all this crap about JT and all that. I was like, I'm not believing anything until I hear it from JT's mouth.
Right.
You know, when I hear him in front of the microphone saying, I want to be traded, then I'll believe it. But until then,
Well, I don't think he's allowed to interview right now until he's off the PUP list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see, they were making a big, why doesn't JT talk? Why doesn't he, you know? But they don't report
it's a general rule.
They don't report
That's a general rule across the NFL. When you're injured and not on the active roster, you know, as part of the team,
right?
You don't interview.
Right. You're not part of media day.
Nope.
But the media blows it up out of proportion. He doesn't want to talk.
Assumptions, and then those assumptions blow up to be something bigger than that they actually are, and then they get rode by multiple people because, you know, and you're right, it just blows out of proportion.
Right. Yep. So I think, my personal opinion, week 1, I think he'll be out there.
I don't know about week 1. That's like 3 weeks away.
If he's healthy, he'll be out there.
He's still on the PUP list.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, if he's healthy, if he's 100% healthy.
If he comes back tomorrow off the PUP list, maybe. Because he's still got to work out. He's still got to get his breath. He's still got to get, you know,
right,
back into football shape. You know what I mean?
True. That's true.
So, and that generally, your general rule of thumb is 3 weeks. So, you know, that's the general rule of thumb. Once you come back from an injury and able to practice again, it's usually 3 weeks, unless it was like a weird injury. But if it's a major, you know, thing like what, you know, he's going through, minimum wait time is generally 3 weeks as rule of thumb. So unless he comes off the PUP list tomorrow, which I'm hearing that ain't happening, you know, he's still rehabbing.
He must have done something to that ankle after the surgery too.
4 to 6 weeks after a surgery, usually you're good.
Right.
And
so
and the surgery happened in January. He should have been good by March.
Right. So he's done something to it.
Yeah. I think so too. But they're just keeping it under wraps.
Right.
I mean, Steichen was asked that straight up by chat, you know, and he's like, I'm not going to get into that, you know. So I think they're just not going to talk about whether or not he, you know, had a setback.
Right.
Which at this point he's had to have had a setback.
Yeah,
you know?
Something is setting back.
He either had a setback or he got in a car wreck or something. I don't know. Something, you know.
Yep.
Because it's, you know, people are like, oh, Jonathan Taylor's faking it because he don't want to play for the Colts. You can't fake it. You can't fake an ankle injury. There's swelling there. There's discoloration. When that goes away, a doctor with his own freaking eyes can be like, all right, it's gone. Do you have discomfort? Discomfort is one thing. But if it's healed, you can still have heel and discomfort and you still off the PUP list, even with the discomfort.
Right.
You know?
Well, I was going to say, you can't fake being on the PUP list. You're on the
PUP
PUP list because you're injured. The doctor has said you do not pass the physical.
Yes. You ain't faking a damn MRI. All right. If the MRI says you're healed, you're healed. If it says you're not, you're not. It's not up to JT to be on or off the PUP list. That's all on the freaking team doctors.
That's right.
And I have this argument with people so much. And they're like, oh, no, you can fake it. I'm like, you don't know shit about anything, apparently. You know, you can walk in and be like, oh, my ankle hurts, you know, and sure, you can do that. But a doctor will be able to tell if you're faking it or not just from the tests.
JT is pretty smart. He could probably get in there and refigure the machine. To give false positives, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see Jonathan Taylor walking in. All right, we gotta take your temperature. And he walks in with a thermometer that he's had in a cup of hot tea the whole time. You know?
Oh, JT, you've got a temperature of 126. You should be dead.
Damn, dude, how are you walking?
Oh, that's funny. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see this next preseason game, Lucas Oil.
Absolutely. And I still think I will stand my ground and say I don't care if they hold him in through the twos. Anthony Richardson. People say, oh, no, not with what we saw last week. You know, he's fine. He'd be fine. And it wouldn't hurt his confidence any. And he would get something that he didn't get to see a whole lot of in Buffalo, and that's different looks and pressures, you know, and it would help calm his nerves, you know, because you got to be able to go through something like that to be able to mentally rep your way out of it later.
Right.
You know, put him in situations like that. Now he gets sacked 3-4 times in a row, pull his ass. But, you know, I mean, if he's handling it, let him handle it, you know, and play him. And I'll stand on that because he needs every rep he can freaking get right now.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
here I am chain smoking.
He'll probably start. He'll start the game.
Oh, well, yeah, he's starting the game. But I'm wondering, I want to see him last more than a quarter. That's the thing.
Play the first half.
Now he'll do that in the third game against Philly, and that's going to be scary because Philly probably has the best defensive line in football.
Right. Right.
You know.
Yeah, and this is a dress rehearsal for the season. So
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I'm like, do it against the Bears, who have the worst defensive line in football.
Exactly.
You know, from top to bottom.
Let Anthony go in the third game against Philly and play one down and then get him out and get, put Gardner in there. Say, there we go.
Because Gardner's practiced against all those guys before.
Exactly.
Except for Jalen Carter.
Exactly. Put Sam in there. Hell.
Sam's already been through a situation like that before already last season against the Patriots.
New England, exactly. Exactly.
Watch this. I'm going to get sacked 9 times.
Exactly. God, that was a horrible game. Oh, Lord. Thank God Matt's not on here. He didn't hear me say that. That was a horrible game.
We had a few of those last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, for us. For him, it was a great game.
Yeah.
Rank between horrible and god awful.
Well, I mean, the game the year before against the Patriots, and I'm sure that was a horrible game for him and a great game for us.
Oh, yes.
You
know? I still got that game recorded.
That was the year that
JT took off.
Jonathan Taylor ran over everybody that year. Everybody.
Can you run the ball when the whole world knows you're going to run the ball? Yes. JT
pretty much.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. And ice the game at the same time. Yes. But
why did we sign 2 more safeties? Blackman's back practicing. Is Thomas still hurt, or is he back too?
He's still out.
Thomas is still out. But Julian's practicing. Well, I saw we re-signed 2 safeties. I'm like, okay.
Well, at least it wasn't 2 more like running backs.
We've already got 6 of those right now, don't we?
Well, something like that. At least we didn't sign 2 tight ends.
Well, you can't sign them. They don't exist because we have them all. There are no more tight ends available.
We can sign some right tackles and label them tight ends.
There you go.
He's 6'8", 360 pounds. He'll fit right in. He's a tight end. Put him out there.
Right.
He runs a 7'2",
40.
He's a tight end.
On roller skates.
Oh, God.
Going on a downhill slalom.
That's right.
You time is 40 with a calendar.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's funny.
I'm going to have to use that sometime. That line right there with the calendar thing. That's pretty good. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
On one of my reactions to the games. Wow.
That's what my buddy used to say about his old Ford Tempo. He timed it in a quarter mile with a calendar.
Oh.
Which is about right.
Calendar? I mean, do people still have those?
Ford Tempos?
No, a calendar.
Calendars?
I've got like 4 of them now.
On the wall calendar.
Yeah, I've got one.
I've got one on my phone, so yeah.
I've got
electronics.
I've got one in my hobby room. I've got one on the side of the refrigerator in the kitchen. I've got one in my bedroom.
I used to have one of the mini ones with the, the magnetic strip that you stick on the refrigerator.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And we used to buy one every, December to replace the one that we had for the wall. But at this point, I don't have a calendar anymore. I haven't bought one in a couple of years because I got a calendar right here at the bottom of my computer. On the
I haven't bought one, but I've got one. I've got one for next year already. It's my stuff my wife used to order, and they'd send her calendars. So I don't know. We used to get a freaking dozen calendars every year. I think I'm down to 4 now, and I've already got one calendar for next year. Came in from some Indian school. I'm like, holy crap! So yeah, I'm good for next year.
Yeah, I'm looking around here. I don't have a calendar hanging in here. Wow.
Yeah, it's just something you don't think about really anymore.
Nope.
Hell, I never know what day it is anyway. I have to look on my phone and get up in the morning and go, what's today? I went out for my walk last night because I walk every evening after dark. And I saw the trash cans. Some people pulled their trash cans down on the curb, and I'm going, hell, it ain't Tuesday. And I got home and checked my phone. I went, damn, it is Tuesday. holy
trash
shit.
Done that before.
I'm in the process of cleaning out some of the stuff out of my wife's room, and so I said, well, I've got an empty trash can out here. I can't miss a day, so I had to load it up last night.
Yep.
The only thing I can say is I'm glad I waited a year before I started doing all this. Good grief. It's just, man, it's tough. It's tough because my wife had a bunch of stuff. Holy shit. So, yeah, I started doing it a couple of weeks ago, and I thought to myself, yeah, I couldn't have done this a year ago or even 6 months ago. So it's taken a while.
Wow. That video I put out 3 hours ago is doing pretty decent.
How many views have you got?
About 250 so far.
Wow.
And one of mine. One of your likes is mine.
It's got 23 likes.
I was going to say the 20th like was mine.
Okay.
It went from 19 to 20.
I don't understand why people don't like anything. I mean, come on. It takes a second to click on a like button.
It's like when I did that live stream to the game, I had 150 people
watching it with you.
150 watching my live reaction to the game.
How many liked it?
Total?
Yeah.
124.
That's not bad.
For the 3-hour period, though. People in and out, stayed right around between 120 and 150 people for 3 hours, going up and down, up and down. I had 2,100 views.
Wow.
And 120 some people liked it.
Yeah. And one of those was mine too. So. I think mine was like 48 or 49, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm glad I had 2,000 views on it, though. I mean, it was nice to see 120, 150 people in there at a time.
Right.
As opposed to 25. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. Especially on a preseason game.
Yeah. Speaking of which, well, it is a pretty big deal. The Colts, a lot of people are, kind of excited a little bit about the Colts. So,
yeah.
I'm going to see.
Oh, yeah, I want to see what Anthony's going to look like. So,
analytics.
Yeah, I could have told you I was pretty excited to see him last week too, and then had to go home. But because it was Fan Appreciation Day, Jack. It was Fan Appreciation Day. Damn it!
No lasagna. no
lasagna. No lasagna for the poor fans out there. These damn media people. They feed them. Yeah, so they'll say nice words about them, in the press.
I was going to say, they won't say anything nasty about them.
The fans, they treat like shit. Uh-huh.
Well, I might have to make me a trip up there if I get my house sold. I might I might actually come and see a home game. I have never seen a Colt home game in my life. I've seen them plenty of times, away games in New Orleans or Houston or Penn or Dallas and stuff. But I have never seen a Colts home game ever.
Well, this would be a good year to do it because, last year it wouldn't have been a good idea. I should have wrote Ursay a letter saying I want a refund of my season tickets. You ripped me off for being, waiting 60 years to get this, and this is what you put out there, you bastard. I want my money back. You did this on purpose.
You did this just for you.
A lot of fans, he's tanking this year too, so
nah.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't. If I could have come last year, I'd have come. But like I said, if I sell my house and make enough money on it, I might make me a little trip up there and come to a Colts game and get that off my bucket list.
There you go.
Yeah.
I ain't been inside Lucas Oil yet. I've been to the Hoosier Dome a couple times, but never to Lucas Oil. I've been in Lucas Oil for like but it was like conventions and stuff, but not actually there for a game.
I'm telling you, it's an awesome stadium. And when if you get the opportunity to go down on the field and be out there, and they got the roof open and the window open. It's awesome. It's always voted. Awesome. It's voted. I think it's like for the last 4 or 5 years, it's been voted one of the top stadiums to watch a football game. And what the Colts do as far as entertainment wise during the game, it's voted number 1. So it's fun.
And a lot of people outside of the state talk about how it looks like a Menards.
A Menards. Okay.
The picture from the front, the way it's shaped and built, and the
kind of looks like the Lowe's in Carmel, that brick building. Looks like
don't like a Menards I ever saw.
But no, it's
I
fun.
I saw the RCA Dome from the interstate because I drove through Indianapolis, back when I was trucking.
My dad helped build the RCA Dome.
I remember the Hoosier Dome was so damn loud, I had a hard time hearing myself think.
It was loud. It was.
And Pete, I understood why people thought, they're pumping.
No,
it was built to be an auditorium. It was built to reverberate freaking sound.
It was a freaking bubble. What do you expect?
Yeah.
It was a bubble. It's going to be loud in there. That was a great place, though. That was so much fun. God, that was fun.
Yep. It was just older and smaller than most of the other stadiums, so they wanted to put a new one up. Right.
Well,
that stadium really wasn't all that damn old.
No, it was there for like 20 years.
It really was not old.
Not like Soldier Field or Fenway Park or something like that,
Oh God, no.
They're getting ready to redo Soldier Field too.
Yeah.
Well, they're building a new one.
Yep.
Yep. They can only renovate that thing so many times.
And I'm sorry, but that stadium out in Los Angeles, SoFi, I don't care for that thing. I'm not impressed.
I think it looks cool as shit.
It's covered, but yet you stand up there in the stands and it rains on you. What the hell?
Now, I think the coolest looking stadium out there right now is
if you say Dallas, I'm exiting out of this damn
Vegas.
thing.
The one in Vegas, the one that they just built in Vegas. That's
black and silver.
Like hell. Yeah.
And it looks like a UFO.
Yeah. That's bad as hell.
I was gonna say, if you said Dallas, I was exiting.
At least I didn't say Nissan.
Really.
Hell, Buffalo's building a new stadium. God, they've had that one forever. Washington, they've got to do something. That stadium's horrible. And I know they got to build a new stadium. That's part of the deal when the guy bought it. So
I mean, there's Lambeau.
That's tradition.
Yeah.
That's just tradition. I
Yeah.
don't think they'll ever redo Lambeau.
Well, hell,
They
the city ain't got enough money to do a stadium in Lambeau. Green Bay ain't that big.
No.
Yeah.
They
And
might
I've been
redo it, reconfigure it, make it look better, but they will never touch that one.
Yeah, I've been down Lombardi Avenue and what's his name? Oh God, Curly Lambeau Avenue, Lombardi Avenue. I've been right up against the stadium several times back when I was trucking.
Right.
It was right. I mean, it was right there. It's real easy to find in the city of Green Bay.
I'd love to see
Green Bay's got
Indianapolis.
meat packers, pickle manufacturers, and a football stadium.
I'd love to see Indianapolis host the draft.
Hello. I won't, but I will have your sister come pick you up if that's okay. All right. See you later. Bye. I'm gonna mute myself while I scream downstairs.
All right. Scream.
I
I would love to see Indianapolis host the draft. That would be fun. I'm sure they could do a hell of a job.
Woohoo!
Indy needs to host the draft.
I mean, at least
they would do a hell of a
the
job.
combine.
They would do a hell of a job if they hosted the draft.
Yeah. Well, the biggest issue is when they have the outside announcements,
Right.
There's not a lot of space there for an outside crowd as opposed to a lot of the other places that they hold it at.
Right.
Like from what I can see,
they could build something in Pan Am Plaza or something.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised we haven't got another Super Bowl because they did one hell of a job. Hell of a job for that Super Bowl.
Yep.
Of course, we got lucky when February it was in the 60s, but that helped. That helped. It's normally not in the 60s.
That's why we don't get the Super Bowl a lot. It's why Lambeau doesn't host the Super Bowl a whole lot. Right.
But the thing about Indy, they could host the Super Bowl and everybody could be here and everybody could walk around and never go outside. They could get from place to place to place just walking inside. They wouldn't have to
get Soldier Field and Lambeau to host one Super Bowl. I would love to see how many people actually show up. Yeah,
exactly.
When it's 30 below outside and blizzard.
Then remember, Detroit only had one, only because they had a dome stadium.
Yep.
And there was a blizzard during that thing, just about.
Well, if you had those conditions, then you would have true football fans at the Super Bowl and not corporate idiots that are just there for the show.
I mean, it took 40 fans. Well, it took what 42 years to get one that actually had rain. 41 years, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, man.
Yep. That was
hard. Of course, it had to be ours that it rained.
Of course. Yeah. It never rains at the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Not until Peyton plays in it. Then it rains.
The only thing I could say was thank God we were wearing our white jerseys.
Yeah, we didn't do so good in the blue ones.
No, we're 2-2.
Are we?
Yeah. 2 in the. Yeah, we lost 2 in the blue and 2 in the white. Lost to the Jets and the Saints in our blues, and beat the Cowboys and Chicago in our whites.
Let's screw it all up, and if we make it, if by some wild ass miracle, we make it to the Super Bowl this year, we use our alternate blacks.
There we go. Absolutely.
Oh, God. I am not even looking forward to that game.
The black helmet.
That's a Thursday night. I probably won't be able to see it anyway. So, oh God, jeez. Oh, I can't. I wanted to puke when I saw that.
I like the black helmet.
Oh, God,
I'm not overly fond of.
I'm not dead yet. Wait till I'm dead, then they can do that shit. Yeah.
Black helmet, the Indiana Knights jersey.
It's an alternate uniform. It's supposed to be different, so that's fine. I mean, I don't want them changing it to that permanently. Obviously, we have tradition we have to uphold. But, as an alternate uniform, it's fine. Now, I don't like the color of the uniform.
Oh, the Indiana Knights one? That heather blue.
Yeah. I'm not overly fond of that. The heathering.
I'll let you know.
You might as well make it a damn tie-dye. I mean, come on.
I ordered one of the jerseys. It'll be here September 5th. I'll let you know.
Yeah. You get a tie-dye uniform. That'd be something,
Hell, I'd rather be. Helmet. Yeah, they could make it the camo colors they used on the training camp hats from last year. They're just God, but that.
So you don't like this helmet?
They got the A&M stripes down the shoulders, down from the neck down the shoulders, down the arm.
Yeah.
So you don't like this helmet, Jack?
No. Hell no.
It's different. It's different.
You put a dark visor on that. I think that looks slick as shit.
Yeah. Oh, it looks good.
It's not traditional. It looks like. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It looks like an XFL helmet.
It does. It does. That's what I thought they were when I first saw them. It was like,
to be honest with you, I'd rather have a blue helmet with a white horseshoe on it, and I can't even stand that because our logo is not a white horseshoe. But
they have those, but they don't. I don't know. There's something about them. They
had them on the horseshoe on the down behind the back of the ear.
Right.
Smaller horseshoes.
Well, that was back in the ancient days of yore.
Yeah.
56, 55, 56 when they had the horseshoes back there. Before they put them to the side. They're throwbacks.
Yep.
Our throwbacks have those. Yeah. But those were actually uniform, from the day. But that black thing, no, there's no black in the Colts colors anywhere, except for maybe the shoes.
The Johnny Hughes,
there you go.
High tops.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just old.
Well, it's like those Color Rush uniforms they wore last year. Those were different. Those were, I don't know.
Not overly fond of the Color Rush.
No, I didn't.
I didn't care for the white jerseys and the blue pants, so they wore those a few times. But that was back in the Jim Harbaugh days.
Yeah, those blue pants were those were like light pale blue. They would just if they would have been the dark blue, maybe. But yeah.
But
they weren't Colts blue. Nope.
Quit screwing with a good thing. That's
well, people. Sorry. You got the kids out there that are like,
who cares? What do they know?
Uniform and the same designs for so long. We need to change it up.
The hell do they know? They got their head stuck in a freaking computer or a freaking phone all the time. What the crap do they know?
It's so boring.
Dumbasses.
Like, well, it's traditional.
Because unfortunately, they
don't know the capital of the United States. Do you really think I want to listen to what the hell they got to say about my uniform? Ask them. Go out in the street and ask them what's the capital of the U.S. They got no clue. Ask them where Utah is, or what's what's the name of the state of Utah, or whatever the question was. It was like, or just like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me, right? How many states are there in the United States? I mean, even freaking Obama got that one wrong, for crap's sake, and he was the president. 57, dumbass. Jeez. I suffer dumbasses really poorly. I'm just good God.
Well,
every time I see these guys, man.
To be fair, there's a lot of capitals out there, like state capitals, that you would never guess was the state capital, like Alabama's state capital.
Tuscaloosa. I know what it is.
What's that?
It's Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery, Alabama.
Capital of Alabama.
Yeah, Montgomery.
But most people wouldn't think it was Montgomery. No. Delaware.
Well, a lot of people think New Orleans is the capital of Louisiana.
Dover, Delaware.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the capital of North Dakota?
Boise.
No, Bismarck.
Bismarck, I meant. Yeah.
Boise, Idaho.
Bismarck.
Idaho. I knew it was a B, and my brain just kind of stopped.
What's the capital of Vermont?
Louisiana's Baton Rouge, I think.
What's the capital?
Vermont. Montpelier?
What's the capital of Vermont?
No.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Montpelier.
Right. It's Montpelier.
Well, it's like what?
South Dakota.
Washington. South Dakota's Pierre.
Pierre.
Yeah.
It's Pierre.
Pierre.
Yeah, state of Washington, Spokane.
Yeah.
No, it's Olympia.
Oregon.
Oh, that's right. Olympia, Washington.
Yep.
Olympia.
Washington.
No. Olympia beer. Should have remembered that. Brewed with tum water.
Wyoming is Cheyenne.
Yep.
It's like a lot of people. I mean, when you most people not from the South would not know the capital of Texas just because they would assume it's probably Houston
or San Antonio.
Yeah. They would not
Dallas.
guess
Austin. No.
Austin.
No. God.
Or Pennsylvania. Who would think that Harrisburg is the capital of Pennsylvania?
Well, the biggest one is like, what's the capital of New York? Everybody thinks it's New York City.
Albany.
It's not. It's Albany. No. Albany is the capital of New York.
Yep.
But everybody thinks, it's got to be New York City. No, it's not.
The capital of Maine.
Shit.
You got me.
Probably.
I think you got me.
Give you hints. Not Bangor.
Augusta?
Yep. It's Augusta.
It's like if you get the capital of Indiana wrong, there's something wrong with you.
Well, then you need to move out of the state. Augusta.
Well, like I say, a lot of people.
A
lot of people think New Orleans is the capital of Louisiana.
But then again, I guess a lot of people would think that Minneapolis would be Minnesota's, but it's not.
No,
it's across the river. Same area, just across the river.
It's basically the same city, but
basically,
cities.
Yeah.
St. Paul.
Yeah. Minneapolis, St. Paul, kind of like where I live, Shreveport, Bossier.
Being that I'm from Indiana, I know about Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I've been to Lansing.
Me too.
Jersey. I don't know jerseys.
New Jersey. It's not. Oh shit.
God, jeez.
Fine. I'll look it up.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's not Jersey City. I know that much.
Trenton.
Oh,
Trenton.
It's Trenton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, it's been the capital since 1787.
It's the capital of Connecticut. Come on, Connecticut. What is it? Begins with an H.
Didn't we already talk? Didn't we already say Hartford?
Hartford City. Yep. Capital of Alaska.
Juneau.
Yep.
Juneau.
Oh, the capital of Alaska?
Juneau. Juneau.
A lot of people would get that wrong, probably.
No. California.
Well, that's you can get them flustered because you ask them what the capital of New York is, and they think it's New York, and you tell them no, it's not. It's Albany. Then you come up with, okay, what's the capital of Georgia? So they think, well, it can't be Atlanta. It's got to be something else. When it is actually Atlanta.
Yeah, Sacramento's California. That's actually pretty easy.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. How about Oregon?
Didn't we already talk about Oregon?
No, we hit Washington.
That's yeah.
Oregon.
Witch trials?
Yeah.
Salem. Salem.
I was thinking. I mean, wrong part of the country, but same name.
Not Salem, Massachusetts.
Wrong part of the country, but same name. Yep. Montana is a difficult one. Montana's a difficult one.
Yellowstone.
It's not even the right state.
No, the show Yellowstone. Damn, come on, Yellowstone, the ranch in Montana. Montana is.
You'll not get it. You're not going to get it.
Montana. Probably not. What is
Helena.
it?
It's Helena.
Helena. Yep, Helena. That's right. Helena.
Yep.
Utah.
If you don't get Salt Lake City,
Mormon country.
Yeah.
New Mexico.
Capital of New Mexico.
New Mexico would be. Is it Santa Fe?
Yes, it is Santa Fe.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Wow.
Most people think it's Albuquerque.
Oh, Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
Arizona.
It's Santa Fe. Arizona. Phoenix. That's easy.
Nope.
Phoenix.
Nope.
Phoenix is the capital of Arizona.
Nope.
Yeah, it is.
It changed in the 1900s to Phoenix. It originally was something else, but if I remember right, it changed about 100 years ago to Phoenix. Just like Indiana didn't used to be Indianapolis. It was
it used to be Strawtown. Strawtown was the capital of Indiana at one time. It actually was.
And that's why you can't take that damn
that stupid roundabout. That's right. This is right there, damn it. Yeah, it's Phoenix. Phoenix is the capital of Arizona.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Damn. Where did he go?
Go down to Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson,
What's the capital of Florida? Tallahassee. That's right.
Yeah, that was. I remember that being on my test, and I was like, "How the hell is Tallahassee?" I don't even. I remember when I took that test and I got that question wrong, and I was like, "I don't even know. I've never even heard of that city." Yeah,
it's not Miami. Miami should be the
no.
capital.
I put Jacksonville down.
Jacksonville.
In my high school test. I never even heard of Tallahassee at that point.
South Carolina. That's an easy one. And it's not Charleston.
Cocaine.
Cocaine?
Colombia.
Colombia. That's like, what?
That's the capital of Mexico.
Yeah.
I remember because that was one of the where you when you do answers to a test and you think of something completely different
right
next to it,
right,
and that I remember that was my thing with that was cocaine.
Columbia. Okay. Never put
Alrighty.
Work. Okay. It's a boring drive through Columbia. It's very boring. Takes forever.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. I didn't think that we would go through the
state capital
on a.
How the hell did that happen? Huh?
That was neat.
Boy, this should have been live on YouTube.
Right.
You would have had likes out the ass on this one.
You forgot Wisconsin.
Madison.
All right.
Madison.
Yeah, we got that out of the way.
It's Green Bay.
That's like asking Tennessee. I mean, that's kind of a given, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, Nashville.
Yep.
Be surprised how many people think it's Memphis.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I know.
Like Kentucky.
Also, yeah, they don't realize that Memphis is also the murder capital of the planet right now.
Wow. More than Chicago?
Yeah. Yes.
Damn.
Per capita, yes.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's more than New Orleans.
I mean, there's a few.
New Orleans actually per capita. New Orleans ranks higher than Chicago does.
Yeah, there's a few of them we forgot, like Maryland,
Augusta.
No, and Annapolis, Maryland.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew it was an A.
Yeah,
dude. Who haven't been at school too long?
Frankfurt,
those small
Kentucky.
eastern states always had problems with.
Yeah.
Like Massachusetts, Boston.
I mean, that's probably, isn't that the only city in Boston?
That's in Massachusetts. That's it. There's nothing else besides
Salem
Boston.
now. There is a Salem there.
That's right.
They didn't hang everybody in that town.
Nobody lives there anymore. But
I know there's
there.
I know there's an Andover because that's the home of Gillette.
Yeah.
I used to go there all the time.
Population fluctuates.
Yeah,
from
right.
3 to 80,000, depending on what time of the week.
Every other Sunday. That's right. It's
population fluctuation.
Oh, that's good.
It's kind of like Sturgis, South Dakota. Population fluctuates depending upon when you show up.
Yeah,
exactly.
You show up outside of June, and it's like 20,000 people. You show up during that 2-week stretch during the, biker rally. You're looking at $750,000.
There's 100,000 there. More than that.
Well, on any given day.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah,
Man.
Oh. Yep. Well, I was wondering when we were going to get way off topic and start talking about something different, because we usually hour and a half or so, and yeah,
we did it.
We did it. That was different. Yeah. Usually we talk about food, so yeah, we definitely got off on beaten path there.
I didn't have to talk about food because I ate a cheeseburger. I made a cheeseburger before we streamed, so I was
okay.
Yes. So I'm not talking about food.
Yeah, state capitals is the one thing I didn't think we were going to talk about.
No.
I would have done a little brushing up, before.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Jeez.
Now we're gonna do.
It's been a long time since elementary school.
Next week will be the capitals of different countries around the world.
I probably do better on those. Hey, I'm embarrassed myself here.
All right, the capital of the Netherlands. Okay, we'll start there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
Amsterdam. I don't know.
Sounds good. Hell yeah, I agree with you, Jack.
Not all right to me.
Amsterdam.
Why not?
Oh, you're right. Though it is Amsterdam.
Well, hopefully,
I told you I could do better in foreign countries than I can in the States.
Good Lord, the Colts have to win this weekend so we can talk something besides state capitals. Jeez.
This time next week, we'll be singing that song, Istanbul, New Constantinople. We got Istanbul, New Constantinople.
All right, I'm going to go back and watch all the after-school specials that I ever watched as a kid.
Right.
And the commercials, the conjunction function, whatever.
There you go, man.
All that crap.
Scholastic Rock.
There we go. I'm going to watch them all.
Oh, my goodness.
That was the only way I got through my freaking English classes was conjunction function, man.
Conjunction junction.
And still just a bill. Got me through civics.
The bill on Capitol Hill.
Still just a bill. That's how got me through civics. Thank God.
Good old times when we were in.
Oh, man, yeah. You actually learned something on a Saturday besides watching cartoons.
Yep.
I sent my girlfriend and I are into music. And I've been sending her music, and I sent her. I don't know if you guys. Well, I don't know. You may or may not know who the Archies were back in '69.
Oh yeah,
but they're from the comic book, the Archies, right? And I got to explain to her who the Archies were, and that they were a comic strip that became a cartoon on the TV on Saturday TV. And of course, where she's from, they didn't have such a thing. The only thing she recognized was the fact that I mentioned that Betty had blonde hair. And then she asked me, "Oh, you like blondes, right?" Well, she's blonde, but she said, "Oh, you like blondes?" And I'm like, "That's the only thing you got out of that whole freaking thing was the song Sugar Sugar." And then Betty had blonde hair. I'm like, okay. Whoa.
Arch and Jughead. Archie and Jughead.
Veronica.
Yep. Veronica and Reggie and Moose and what's your Moose's girlfriend? Oh shit. And Pop had the soda shop.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I remember the strip.
Archie and Friends.
One of them that I would read right alongside like Garfield and stuff like that. Growing up. Garfield, Peanuts. What's that? The one, the caveman one. Oh man, I used to
BC.
with the used to have on the marathon.
Oh, goodness, that was so good all the time.
Marathon gas station. That was their little symbol, was the BC guy.
Yeah.
I used to collect those damn glasses that had him on. Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of BC and old bands, what the hell was that movie? That was a caveman movie. that had Ringo in.
1 million years BC.
You're BC, yeah. It was Ringo and Raquel Welch.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yep.
1 million years BC.
Yep. I remember I had that on VHS, and I burned through that so much.
Come on, you had Raquel's poster on your wall as a kid.
Oh, I didn't have Raquel's
with
poster.
the fur bathing suit and all that. Hell yeah.
I had two.
No, I didn't. I didn't have Raquel. I actually had
Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett.
Everybody had the Farrah Fawcett poster.
I had two Raquel Welches on my wall. One in the bikini, and one in her that move from that movie.
Movie, yep.
Yep. The one where she's flipping her hair. Oh no, that's what's her name? Oh, I had that mixed up. The hell's her name?
Cheryl Teague.
Lord, that is a big fly. What is her name? Not Raquel Welch. Hold on.
Flipping her hair?
Oh, what is her name? Was that wasn't Fawcett? No. She might not have been flipping her hair. She came out and her hair was slicked down her back.
It wouldn't have been Farrah. She had big hair.
70s.
Trying to think. Hell, Raquel still looks pretty good today. Jesus, and she's got to be.
I mean,
in her 80s at least.
Oh, she's dead.
Did she finally die?
Yeah, she died. Oh God, it's been I don't know months ago now.
When did she die?
Bo Derek. I think that was her name.
And 10, the movie 10, Bo Derek comes out and her hair's all wet down. Yeah. Well, it shows in the movie where she's running down the beach.
Yeah.
And her boobs are flopping up and down. Yeah. That's
it took me a minute. I'm like, man, I couldn't even find it. I couldn't even find it on Google. It just her name came into my head. And I was like, yeah. I was trying to find it on Google and couldn't find it, and then it just came to me. I'm glad it did because it would have been stuck with me all night.
Bugging the hell out of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she died February 15th.
Yeah, I knew it's been a few months ago.
Yep, February 15th.
Yeah.
Cardiac arrest.
Yeah. She looked good right up to the end, though. She really did.
She did. Yeah, she did. Of course, most of it was plastic, but she still looked good.
Hey,
I'm sure. If you got the money, you might as well use it. What the hell?
Oh well.
Can't take it with you.
You can still look at the good. Well, I guess technically you can, to a certain degree, anyway.
Exactly. Oh shoot!
Who had a poster of Catherine Bach?
Oh yeah, Catherine from Daisy and the Daisy Dukes. Hell yeah, yeah.
I didn't have a poster. No, that was a little. I was a little old for girly posters in my.
Oh,
Catherine Bach next to the General Lee. Yeah, and her Daisy Duke shorts.
Yep.
Hell, I remember Ellie Mae from the Beverly Hills.
Oh my goodness!
Oh God, yeah, man.
Everybody had a crush on her. I mean,
my cousin dated her. He lived out in California. He dated her.
Wow, damn.
Needless to say, he had a lot of money.
I'll tell you the one I had a crush on. Mary Tyler Moore. I had a big crush on her, starting with the Dick Van Dyke Show all the way through her Mary Tyler Moore show.
Yeah.
She was a favorite of mine.
Huh.
I like Mary Tyler Moore. Yep.
Yeah. I can always see her out in the street of Minneapolis throwing her hat up in the air. Beginning of her show, the lead into the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about her. I don't know, it's her smile or something about her. I always did like. Always did.
Well, I think I am about done. We're over 2 hours. So
Yeah, we got through the state capitals and the girls
Yeah.
posters.
I don't think there's much more to talk about. Jeez.
not right now. I mean, we can come up with some stuff, but you know.
Well, you better send out an email before next week on topics we're going to discuss, so I can
right. So we do some
brush
studying
up.
before.
Yeah, Jesus. No, honey, I can't. I'm studying for Patreon tonight. Leave me alone. I'm studying.
I'm studying for Patreon.
We're having a test tonight. Damn it! I got to pass. No.
Studying for my Colts group.
That's right. What are you guys talking about? State capitals. Yep. We're,
Yeah, right. Not even Colts trivia, you know.
You know, yeah, we didn't talk about the Colts for shit tonight, but you know.
I mean, we did for the first hour.
Just Jack bitching about that damn uniform.
There's not a lot to talk about right now. I mean, there's not. So,
but
no.
All right, guys, I'm gonna jump off here.
But I feel vindicated being thrilled that we drafted Anthony to start or him to start with. So.
Yeah. Me and you both, Jack. Me and you both.
We were on that train, kind of by ourselves there for a while.
Yes, we were, but by God, they listened to us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I will. I'll brush up on my state capitals, and we'll be there next week.
Country capitals.
Okay.
No, hell, we didn't pass all the states yet. Jesus.
Almost. If we get through all the countries,
we missed Ohio
because there's a lot more than 50 countries.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Bogota. I mean,
Zimbabwe. What is it? What's the capital? All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yep. Y'all have fun. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.